Hey Amish, are you going to the St. Patrick's Day party later?
There's a party? Why was I not invited?
Oh, I think I might have forgotten about you.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, silly. It's an APN party, so of course you're invited.
But I don't see any decorations.
Yeah, I've kind of been swamped all week making this show, so I never had time.
You know what? Let's set up for the party during the show and throw the biggest APN celebration anyone's ever seen.
Okay, I like that idea. I'm really excited. Then how about we get this show started? I'm Ethan.
And I'm Amish. Welcome to Show 22. Today is the last day to apply for APN and get the chance to join our lively family. The applications are due at 11:59 tonight, and Teacher X are due on Monday, March 20th at 11:59. Even if you couldn't make it to the informational meeting, you can still apply. Good luck to all of the applicants, and APN can't wait to welcome you in.
Have you ever received a compliment that still makes you feel good years later? What about a hurtful comment that you just can't seem to forget? It's no secret that words have a powerful impact on us, and Joziah is here to shed light on why offensive language can be so damaging.
Hateful language has no place in the school or any setting. It creates a hostile environment that is not conducive to learning or personal growth.
On January 30th, a student wrote a derogatory racial slur on our lunch whiteboard, and this racial slur was against African Americans. I have to say I was really shocked, and my staff was as well. Over 90% of my staff are people of color. We're from various walks of life. Our words and our actions, they have meaning behind it. You know, that's why language is such a powerful thing, because we're expressing, we're communicating to one another.
You know, just recently I was with a group of superintendents, and out of all of the challenges you can imagine right now facing public education, this was the topic we were talking about, the escalating use students have of derogatory terms, racial slurs, and profanity in general. There is no place for it, and everyone deserves that safety, especially when you're an education institution.
We all need to work together to stand up to it. So this EDI event is something that we're doing. You know, I worked with Ms. Liu and Mr. Kearney, who are the administrators who oversee EDI, to find a way to discuss this type of language, and to help build in our students the tools to address it when we hear it, you know, in the hallways or in our classrooms or in our friend group. Talking it out, sharing your experiences, because sometimes people don't always know the impact that their words have. And if no one knows that you have experienced this, then no one can help you. So you have to share when these things happen.
It's time that we stop thinking that being hurtful to someone's a joke or it's cool, because it's really not cool. It's cool to be nice to someone. It's not cool to be mean to someone or roast someone and think it's okay.
And sometimes it's really painful. What happened in the cafeteria is really painful.
I'm deeply saddened by the lack of empathy by the student body for those who saw the racial slur, but refused to alert myself or another adult.
If anybody knows who did that in the cafeteria, come forward. The person who did it knows. The cafeteria is a crowded place. I find it hard to believe that someone didn't see something, but that's what we need, someone willing to stand up and, you know, speak up. But it's the hardest thing to do. Standing up to your friend is absolutely the hardest.
You can't empathize or understand what someone else who doesn't look like you goes through if you're unwilling to take the time to get to know them. I hope that this will be a teachable moment for all students and faculty to understand the significance of racial slurs.
The words you say can have more weight than they seem. Remember to think before you act and stay kind, Apaches. This has been Joziah, and back to the anchors in the studio.
No matter what grade you're in, it's never too early to plan for your post-high school career. Luckily, the College and Career Center is offering a Career and Internship Expo on March 22nd during lunch and after school at the library. Don't miss this opportunity to experience work-based internships, talk to career panelists, and so much more.
With the numerous awe-inspiring films produced over the last year, there were many historic wins at this year's Oscars. From veteran actors to first-time nominees, there is definitely a lot to discuss. For a recap of the 2023 Academy Awards, here's Aaron and Ronan.
It's that time of the year again, awards season. Just last weekend, the 95th Annual Academy Awards aired, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. This time with no slaps, though.
That's right, but many of the nominated movies did slap. Maybe the voters actually did watch the films before making their votes this time around.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, Aaron. Did you see that Elvis was nominated for Best Picture? I mean, that just ain't right, let me tell you.
Hey, don't slander Elvis. Elvis was a great film, and Austin Butler did an amazing performance of Elvis in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I wasn't a fan, but I definitely cannot deny that his performance was pretty good. Still, I think Brendan Fraser was more deserving for his standout performance in The Whale, a movie that almost entirely depended on his acting.
Yeah, it was no shock that Brendan Fraser won the award. Shocking that it's his first Oscar in his career.
Yep, but unsurprisingly, Ke Quan and Jamie Lee Curtis also won their first Oscars for their supporting roles in Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is arguably one of the biggest movies of 2022, and one of my favorites of the year too.
I fully agree. Watching Everything Everywhere is an experience unlike any movie I've seen before. And I was happy to see it was a big winner this year with 7 awards.
Yeah, it's definitely more deserving than All Quiet on the Western Front, which swept the technicals. But I kind of wish some of the other movies had a chance to shine. Like, I thought Tar and the Banshees of Inisherin were actually really good. However, obviously they aren't quite as easily accessible. Same thing for a movie like Nope, which didn't get any nominations, probably because the voters are just a little too scared for that one.
Even with the snubs, it was an overall great night for Hollywood. Now let's go back to the anchors in the studio.
This is your last chance to buy tickets for Arcadis Stage's production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Tickets are still available to purchase at the door for this Saturday's matinee at 1 p.m. and the later showing at 7 p.m. Don't miss this magical evening filled with music, dancing, and enchantment presented by the marvelous students and teachers of Arcadis Stage.
Okay, so we have pizza, chips, soda, and mozzarella sticks.
Excellent. How about decorations?
You know, I feel like if everyone were to just decorate themselves, the studio wouldn't need to be decorated. Just like this hat.
I don't know how I feel about that hat, Ethan.
What? What do you mean? I wear this on every St. Patrick's Day, and it holds a purpose.
And what is that purpose?
Well, I can easily use it to catch leprechauns.
Really? You think that will catch leprechauns? Look at this actual leprechaun trap I made last night. This catches leprechauns.
Okay, maybe, but let's go see how our Apaches would plan their own way to catch leprechauns.
Yeah.
You know, of course I have a lot of gold, so of course they just be attracted to me in general. So I don't even have to do anything, they just come to me.
With a pot of gold, you know, at the end of a rainbow when it comes down after it's raining. So I think it's the perfect opportunity to catch one.
You can make like a pit trap, like you just put a hole, right? And then you like have toothpicks poking down, and then they walk over and they fall in.
With a fishing net.
Chocolate gold coins, make it eat it, and then like it'll get all fat and then it can't move and then you catch it.
Just grab it. You make a box and you put gold. That's how yeah.
I would put candy out and then you know like the paint, the trails track
like this.
Grab it, dress up as one, and then you know, I'm a pretty attractive leprechaun, I'd say myself, so
like this.
Just grab
Lucky Charms! Lucky Charms! Put Lucky Charms on the floor!
With W Riz.
If you want to have a voice in Arcadia High School's media and have an interest in media, communications, journalism, writing, and graphic design, then Quill is perfect for you.
We act and conduct the class like a professional newspaper publication, but we also have fun while doing it. So we have holiday potlucks and a flexible class structure, but everyone still needs to adhere to deadlines. Once you're in the class, you have the chance to attend contests hosted by L.A. Times or even get your work published by PBS or New York Times. We've also attended Boston Globe webinars, and you have a multitude of opportunities from summer programs to internships.
It's a great way to connect with other students and learn more about journalism, photography, and graphic design.
Make sure to come to the March 24th info meeting in A213 at lunch because applications are due on April 19th.
Join the Arcadia Quill!
This party is really coming along. We have plates, decorations, and food.
Yeah, and thanks for all the help, but you know, St. Patrick's Day is not just about celebrating Irish culture and traditions. It's also important to recognize their contributions to America, especially as immigrants. Even through the face of prejudice, they still kept up the hustle and lived the American dream.
Hustle? You know who would know about that? Our Apache athletes. Let's go to the other side of the rainbow to see what our sports are up to. Afiq, how much gold have you found?
Well,
Based off our athletes, I found out plenty goes in their hearts. But anyways, heading to this week of sports, we'll be recapping our boys volleyball game as well as the other amazing sports. But before we get into all that, let's get to David into the North Gym to recap our boys amazing game against tough rivals last night, Burroughs.
Thanks, Afiq. This past Thursday, our Apache boys played strong against Burroughs.
Well, Burroughs had a strong start in the first set. Kitty made some great plays and took the lead. The boys were then able to keep the lead throughout the rest of the match, and although Burroughs fought hard, our boys managed to fight back and take the win. The game finished with a final score of 25-12, putting their league standings at 2-0, and their overall to 7-1.
Some tough fighting from our Apache boys. Anyway, that's it for me. Back to Afiq in the studio.
Congratulations and well played to our amazing athletes yesterday night, as we can't wait to see how the rest of your season will turn out, and best of luck out there, fellow Apaches. Before we send it back to the anchor's desk, let's look at the other sports team that played this week. On Tuesday, boys tennis won 15-3 against Center Valley, while boys volleyball won a tight one against Merinoth at 3-2. On Wednesday, track and field wanted to meet against Burbank. And finally, let's get to Thursday's slate of sports. Boys tennis won 18-0 against Burroughs, while boys volleyball won against Burroughs with the score being 3-2. Badminton won 19-2 against Wilson, and our swim team won all 4 levels of competition during the Thursday's swim meet against Burbank. And finally, baseball blew out the Hoover Tornadoes with a final score of 19-0. Outstanding work from our Apaches on closing out some tough games this week. We wish we could bring you more sports this week, but due to unforeseen weather and canceled games, it wasn't possible. Well, we'll end sports with that, and now let's send it back to Ethan and Amish.
Wow. The studio looks really festive. All the decorations are set and there's so much food.
Yeah, I think this last minute idea went well, Ethan.
It's going to be the best APN party ever. So why don't we wrap this up so we can go?
Before we end the show, APN would like to extend our congratulations to Miss Godo for being 2023 to 2024 AUSD Teacher of the Year. Miss Godo teaches science courses at AHS and is described as a brilliant teacher and caring colleague who is very innovative and humble. We are very proud of Miss Godo and once again would like to congratulate her.
Thanks guys for tuning in, and make sure to follow us on our social media so you never miss any updates or news from APN.
This has been Amish
and Ethan, and we will see you next week, Apaches.